Welcome to the deep dive. We've got quite a stack of sources here today.
We do. We're ready to unpack a really remarkable historical account.
Yeah, our mission today is exploring the story of Queen Esther. We want to look specifically at the strategic qualities she used and, how her role as queen really became part of this much larger mission.
It's about understanding how she handled just incredible pressure, looking at those key moments our sources describe.
Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. We're in the Persian Empire.
Right, and the Jewish people are there, having lost their homeland quite some time before. Esther herself, our sources tell us, was adopted, raised by her cousin Mordecai.
And then comes this, pivotal moment, the selection process for a new queen. There's a detail in the sources I found interesting about her integrity showing through even then.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
Well, apparently, unlike others vying for the position, she didn't ask for fancy clothes or anything special. She just sort of took what the official in charge suggested.
Huh. That is interesting, like an early sign of her character. Trusting the process.
Exactly. The sources suggest the king really noticed her qualities, and that's why he chose her. But this position, being queen, it wasn't exactly a safe haven, was it?
No, not at all. It puts her right in the path of serious danger pretty quickly.
Yeah, things escalate fast. You have the prime minister, Haman, getting furious with Mordecai.
Because Mordecai wouldn't bow down to him being Jewish.
Right, and Haman's anger doesn't just stop at Mordecai. He hatches this, horrific plan.
He convinces the king somehow to issue an order to kill all the Jewish people everywhere in the empire.
It's just devastating. You can imagine the fear, the despair.
Absolutely. And Mordecai knows Esther is in a unique position, even though it's dangerous. He gets a message to her basically pleading for help.
He points out the risk, doesn't he? Going before the king uninvited could mean death.
Yes, but then he asks that huge question, something like, maybe you were made queen for this very moment.
Wow. Talk about pressure. So what does Esther do first? Does she rush in?
No, interestingly, her first move, according to the sources, is actually quite deliberate. She asks for a 3-day fast for herself and for all the Jews in the capital, Shushan.
So like spiritual preparation before taking action.
Exactly, a grounding step. And then she moves, strategically.
Okay, so after the fast.
Instead of just, demanding an audience or pleading, she invites the king and Haman to a private dinner party.
Just the three of them. Bold.
Very. It shows she's thinking, observing, planning how to engage the king on her terms.
And at that first dinner, the king's pleas, right, offers her pretty much anything.
Yeah, up to half the kingdom, he says. But Esther, she shows incredible emotional control here.
How so?
Well, think about it. Her life's on the line, her people's lives are on the line. The guy who wants them dead is sitting right there, and the king's offering her the moon.
Right. Huge temptation to just blurt it all out.
But she doesn't. She stays calm. And instead of making her request, she invites them both back for another dinner the next day.
Wow. Playing the long game. That's real composure.
It really is. The sources highlight this step-by-step execution. She's not letting the pressure force her hand.
Okay, so dinner number 2. The king asks again, makes the same big offer.
And now, still calm under all that pressure, Esther finally reveals the situation. She explains that she and her whole people are facing annihilation.
From a wicked person, she says initially.
Yes, and then, with unbelievable courage, she points directly at the prime minister. This wicked Haman.
Just imagine that moment, the tension.
Had to be immense. The king is furious, storms out.
And while he's gone.
Haman panics. He starts begging Esther for his life, falling near her couch.
Which is exactly when the king walks back in.
Terrible timing for Haman. The king sees this, gets even angrier, and basically orders Haman's execution on the spot.
Swift justice, in a way. And what happens for the Jewish people?
The immediate threat is gone with Haman, and later the king issues a new decree. It doesn't cancel the first one entirely, but it allows the Jews to defend themselves against anyone who tries to attack them based on Haman's original order.
So, a crucial turnaround. Looking back at this whole deep dive then, what are the key takeaways from the sources?
Well, several things stand out, don't they? That initial integrity, her very clear strategic thinking, setting up the dinners, the timing.
Yeah, and her emotional control, holding it together under that immense pressure, and then just executing the plan step by step, even when it was incredibly dangerous.
Definitely. But maybe the most powerful point the sources make is the connection between her role and her purpose.
You mean her being queen?
Exactly. Her earthly position, her, you could say, vocation as queen, wasn't just incidental. It was the specific platform she needed, the very tool she used to fulfill her mission of saving her people. It was integrated.
So her status wasn't separate from her calling, it was the means for it. That's quite profound.
It really is. It shows how sometimes the different parts of our lives, the roles we have, can actually be designed for a specific, crucial purpose.
It makes you think, doesn't it? If someone's position, like Esther's, was maybe perfectly placed for a specific critical moment, what about our own circumstances?
What might your unique situation, your position right now, be suited for? Definitely something to reflect on.